Fox Sports.
We are Buffalo. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, the Tigers have had a few surprise performers this year, including Leonis Martin at the top of the lineup. He's been great with the bat and some clutch defensive plays as well. Martin has provided a spark for the Tigers, including the game-winning hit in last night's ball game. Great day for baseball. Welcome to Comerica Park. Final game featuring the Tigers and the Tampa Bay Rays. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Kirk Gibson, glad to have you with us for the finale in this series. Leonis Martin, what more can you say, Gibby? He has been really good.
Well, you know, he spent many years down in Texas, didn't pan out the way they wanted him to, on to Seattle. Now Detroit needed a center fielder, and they went and got Leonis, and he did it all last night with his bat and his arm. They tested his arm. That's not a good when he has a little leg injury, but the thing that shows me that he's comfortable in Detroit is he's using his mouth. We've heard a lot about what he does inside the locker room and in the dugout. He's a real loose guy, keeps everybody loose, and he's making great contribution.
Speaking of contributions, you got to go with Michael Fulmer in the starting rotation. 9 punch-outs in his last start against the Pirates on the road. He's been as advertised this year.
Well, you know, he's had 5 starts. 4 of them, he's given up 2 runs or less. They've been great. He's got 2 where he's given up no runs. He had 1 stinker where he gave up 6 runs. He got maybe tied up into trying to go deep by getting early contact. But last start out, he was all business. 9 strikeouts in this game, and he's just letting it go, letting it fly. His strikeout rate has been going down, but in this last game, he threw all of his pitches. He's got an explosive fastball up and out of the zone. You can't touch it. There he's going away, and that slider is just wipe out. Little foul locker right there. So Michael, I think tonight you're going to see him come out the same way he did last game. He's going to go as hard as he can, as far as he can, and then it'll be up to the bullpen again for the Tigers.
And the Tigers trying to win 2 out of 3 in this series. After a short break, we'll send you to the Colsham Studios. Check in with John Keating. Coming up in this one, hey, it's the rubber match. The Tigers have a win. The Rays have a win. Tigers trying to win the series next on Fox Sports Detroit. Blake Snell, the starter for the Rays, has made 4 straight starts and allowed 2 runs or less in each. 9 strikeouts in his last start win over Boston. He struck out at least 9 in 3 of 6 starts. It's approaching game time on a Wednesday afternoon in downtown Detroit. As we welcome you back to the Call Sam studio, Blake Snell, a first-round pick of the Rays back in 2011. He was actually homeschooled in high school because his mom felt he wasn't taking his education as seriously as he should have. He also collects Jordan brand sneakers and has 200 pair at last count. And the Tigers will try to give him the boot here in the series finale today. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. Come to Comerica. And by Ram, built to serve. Tampa Bay Rays get together for the final game of the series, and the Rays will face Michael Fulmer here this afternoon. He's presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
6th start today for Michael. Don't let that record fool you. He's thrown the ball very good in 4 of his 5 starts. He's ready to go to work today and get that record evened up at 2-2.
Here is the starting lineup that Fulmer will face today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Span, Crone, and Duffy in the top 3 spots. Brad Miller batting cleanup. Wilson Ramos will catch. Joey Wendell at second base. Bottom 3, Gomez, Smith, and Echeverria for Kevin Cash and the Rays.
Oakland University brings you the Tigers starting defense. Same out in the outfield. Jones, Martin, and Castellanos. Infield's the same except for John Hicks at first. You got Machado, Iglesias up the middle, Candelario at third, James McCann behind the plate again, Michael Fulmer on the mound.
Tigers once again today without Miguel Cabrera. He has missed his 3rd straight game, so they will try and make do without him. And here is Fulmer getting set to go to work. And here are the numbers today: is 76 degrees at game time.
Oh my, wonderful. Left out to left field. The ball is going to carry that way if it gets up. Your left fielder, you're going to want to make sure that you pay attention to the flags.
Here is Denard Span to get things started. Span, Crone, and Duffy, top 3 in the lineup for the Rays today. Fulmer goes to work. And we're underway with a ball low to Denard Span. Here's your umpiring crew. Chad Whitson is behind the dish today. Gary Cedarstrom is your crew chief. Now Fulmer with the 1-0 pitch. Span takes ball too high. Each team with a victory in this series, a couple of 1-run games, and that is something that Kevin Cash has seen a lot of this year. His team has played 14 1-run games this year. It's the most in Major League Baseball.
Michael a little strong, arm side up and away, 3-0.
Kevin Cash in his 4th year as the skipper of the Rays. Sees numbers there. Of course, Joe Madden was their manager for so many years. On to the Cubs. There's a strike called on Span, and now 3-1. Span, a veteran outfielder. He's been with several different organizations, including with Guardian, Minnesota. There's a strike called on the check swing, 3-2.
96 coming out. Should you go with the fastball here? I would say yes. First batter, nobody on. Try and hit it out. Make him do it.
Span has a little bit of power, 3 homers. And there's ball 4. Leadoff man on for the Rays, and that'll bring up C.J. Crone. What'd you have on Boyd last night, Gibby? He was good again.
He was very good, and we kind of pointed out in the open about last year was more changeup, curveball. This year it's been fastball, slider. The percentage of those pitches thrown, and he combined it last night. All those pitches are developing well, and he's using them all when applicable within the game.
Crone looks at a ball up high, hit a big home run in the opener of the 9th inning of game 1, in which the Rays scored 3 in the 9th and held on to win 3-2. CJ now with 7 home runs. It'll bend over for a strike, 1-1.
.24 for 76, CJ. 9 of them extra base hits. 7 multi-hit. He's feeling pretty comfortable up there.
Busted him inside, and the count now on Crone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Crone does give them an element of power at the top of their lineup. The 7 homers, the most by a Ray in the month of April since 2011. Swing and a miss.
Thought he was going to get the fastball right there. Pulled the string. Want to get him right here. Don't want to have to go 3-2 because Span will be going on 3-2.
It'll get back toward the dugout. Fulmer in his career against the Rays, an ERA of 2.36 lifetime against Tampa.
Only 2-2. But he's Michael Fulmer is kind of mirrors his year so far. He's pitched really well. 1 and 2 on the year.
fouled away.
Frustrating when you make good pitches and the opponents continue to foul them off. If you're the Tigers,
great day for baseball here in the Motor City. Good crowd still filing in here at the ballpark in a mid-70s afternoon. And again, the 2-2, and it's fouled away again. So Crone is frustrating Michael Fulmer here.
jam him. Jam sandwich. Get it in there. Well, Crone is pretty veteranish, so he may just foul it off, but you hope they try and put it in play. Strike him out, throw him out. I'm begging early.
It's all right. You got the right guy behind the dish in McCann. Spanned 2 out of 3 in stolen base attempts this year. Slice to right field down the line. That's going to get down. Base hit. Castellanos cuts it off, and to third base goes Span. The Rays have something going here in the first inning. Pretty good bat there by C.J. Crone.
He's really in his 2-strike mode. He's really oppo oriented. His pitch is out over the plate a little bit. You see, he just goes straight to the ball. Doesn't try and do a lot with it. Nick gets over there and holds it to first and third. Kind of getting it out here. This is a good play. He gets it in quickly. Second base. Got first and third. Looking for a double play.
Crone now with a 10-game hitting streak. Here is Matt Duffy. It'll get away from McCann, but not far enough. Duffy in the 3-hole today for the Rays, .355 over his last 8 games.
Now, if you're the Tigers defense, you want to make sure if you got a chance at this double play, concede the run. Get the 2 outs, and James is going to have to make sure he blocks those pitches. Want to keep that double play in order. You can really see what their approach is, can't you, early on here? Not trying to pull Fulmer at all.
Go the other way.
Just going the other way, trying to stay on it, see his pitches. Finally found my watch.
Where was it?
Buried in the plethora of snacks.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Duffy. Duffy at .291. He has knocked in 8 runs this year. They have Span at first, or Span at third rather, Crone at first.
This is the sac fly probabilities there in front of the bread line. They're not going to go.
Little pop up.
Get behind it.
Not deep. Nick measures it. Runner tags and will go halfway and head back. Not nearly deep enough, and 1 gone.
This is a routine play, but Nick does a good job. He gets up underneath it. This cutoff man's going to come right down here. You got to make sure you hit him in case the runner at first advances to second. There you see him retreating. Nick gets behind it. Good, strong, accurate throw. Like I said, if the runner from first goes, you just cut that, take the out down at second. You get a double play. But now we're first and third, 1 out. Looking for the DP on the ground.
Cleanup hitter Brad Miller. Ball 1. Miller 1 out of 5 in the series. He homered in the opener, and it turned out to be the game-winning home run. It made it 3-0 in the 9th inning, and the Rays held on to win 3-2. 2-0, and Michael's command not extremely sharp here early on.
Yeah, he's a little leaving and missing most of them to his arm side elevated. If you want to get the double play, that's tough place to get it. But he's trying to make corrections as he's on that mound. He's making corrections in his mind and right here on this pitch.
So Fulmer did not give in there. Now 2-1. Span got his start with a walk. Crone singled him to third. Duffy unable to get the run in. High ball 3.
So what do? You keep missing up there. You keep missing up there. That's what all the bullpen sessions are for. Some of the film sessions, you have things in your mind that you can remember. So he's competing on a, he's on the clock here. He's got to pitch quickly, but yet he's trying to figure out how to fix it. So you have to be a good multitasker in this position and situation.
And it's funny how starters will say really how you feel in the bullpen warming up doesn't necessarily mean how you will or how that will translate into taking the mound, the actual mound of the game.
And he's 23 pitches in. That's 8 so far over the average.
And he walked in ball 4. That'll load him up now for the Rays. 2 walks in this inning for Fulmer.
Yeah, 13 strikes, 11 balls, 24 total now.
That'll bring up Wilson Ramos.
Got to watch your fastball. Ramos can really smack him.
Fulmer came in with a total of 2 walks in his last 3 starts. And he has walked a couple here today. Ramos looks at a strike, 0-1. Diving to the outside corner. The Rays this year are 2 for 20 with the bases loaded. And they came in also very poor, 2 for 11 with men in scoring position in the series. Ball high, 1-1. So this is really turning into a stressful inning now for Fulmer.
26 pitches, throwing hard, 96, but having a hard time locating.
One and two.
I think his slider has been his best pitch as far as locating it. He's
Right.
thrown it several times when he's been behind in the count here. It's kind of an age-old dilemma. You get two balls and no strikes. You've got to throw a strike. What pitch? Everybody would think, well, the fastball is the easiest one to throw for a strike. It's not always the case.
Little chopper toward third, foul ball. Ramos at 293 is 1 for 3 in the series, and he's enjoying a 10-game hitting streak. Just got a piece up, staying alive, and Fulmer now about to throw his 30th pitch here in the first inning.
It's got to be not quite a third foul balls.
Pretty close. Fulmer in his last start threw a total of 99 pitches through 6 innings. 6 scoreless innings against Pittsburgh. And that's outside, 2-2.
Yeah, it seems like if it's a strike, they're fouling it off. If it's a ball, they're just taking it.
Gardy a little bit uneasy with the way this one has started. All it takes is a double play ball here, though. Instead of line drive to left, a base hit. Span scores. Crone will go to third and stop there. They score a run on the RBI hit by Wilson Ramos.
Looked like something hanging. He's going to get a visit now. Here comes Baz. It's just hanging right over the middle of the plate. Ramos whacks it right in over Jamer's head. And good job of Jacoby charging this ball to keep it at 1 run.
So Fulmer is walked to, is given up 2 hits. And Ramos now an 11-game hitting streak for the Rays. Conversation is over. That'll bring up Joey Wendell. They're still loaded with 1 out. Wendell, a solid start for the Rays, 329. He's got 8 multi-hit games this year. That's the most for this Rays offense. Ground ball to first, picked up there by Hicks. There's 1 going to the plate. There's 2.
Nice play.
Unorthodox, but it worked. Hicks starts the 3-2 double play. Oh, you gotta love this. Fulmer needed this one badly. Rays settle for 1 run. A double play with the bases loaded. And here come the Tigers now. Their starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And for Ron Gardner today, it's Martin, Candelario, Castellanos, Vimard batting cleanup, Jones and Hicks, and then McCann, Iglesias, and Machado. Again, no Miguel Cabrera today. Blake Snell is provided by MGM Grand Detroit.
Yeah, he's got good stuff. Big lefty, fastball up to 96 miles an hour. He's 4-1 on the year. Doesn't walk anybody. And it'll be tough for the Tigers. He really lets it go. His last outing, 7 1/3 innings.
Leonis batting .280 with 4 home runs. Had the game-winning hit yesterday. RBI double turned out to be the game winner. 0-2. Martin finishing 2 out of 4 in last night's contest. Missed a game with a bit of a sore hamstring, but got back in there last night.
Actually, he wanted to play, but I think he got some advice that he should give it a day. Let's make sure. Don't want to get in a situation where he got to put you on the disabled list.
Rolled foul.
Interesting that Gardy's got him up top, but I think you can tell he is the leadoff hitter for the Tigers this year so far.
And it's a foul ball. Martin banged it off his foot.
And he's hurt. Where did it get him? Oh, just off the tip of the toe.
How guys don't break their toes more often because of that, I'll never get.
Got to call a tow truck.
Here's a ball high, 1-2. That's terrible.
What? It's not terrible. That's good.
That's brutal.
Bad toe.
Popped him up. Behind the plate, heading back to the seats, and it's going to stay in play right up against the railing.
Let's take a look at the Rays starting defense. Also, they're the same out there in the outfield. Span, Smith, and Gomez. On the infield, Matt Duffy at third base. Echeverria is at shortstop. Wendell at second. Brad Miller is at first today. Wilson Ramos is behind the dish. Blake Snell on the mound. Tigers trying to take the Rays down today and get that series win.
Here is Jamer Candelario. Ball 1 to Jamer, who has not nearly hit as much right-handed as he has left-handed this year. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. Candelario just .227 against lefties this season. .307 against righties.
Blake Snell, you're seeing some of his pitches, kind of a minor shift off to the left side, really playing him up the middle as well. Blake Snell, about 57% of the time he throws the fastball. Kind of spreads the curveball, changes the slider out 15, 14, and 12%. So it's not like, you know, hitters will play the percentages. You see a guy with 35% of one pitch. That's a fair
ball. Down the line, right by a diving Duffy. Candelario is on to second with a two-base hit. Jamer with a double.
Looks like a breaking ball. Jamer stays back. Doesn't seem to jump at the ball much, and that's why he hits the breaking pitches as well as he does. Past a diving Matt Duffy. He's got a double. One out double, and that'll leave it up to Nick Castellanos. My guy.
Your guy's hit safely in 9 of his last 10. The average now at 309. Trying to tie this one up at the very least. That is the first Tigers hit of the game. Ball 1 from Snell.
The Rays have been throwing Nick inside hard. You know, they started him off first pitch away. There's always a design. They know where they've been throwing all the Tiger hitters, and they got to keep. They're trying to stay one step ahead of you, so you know they want to get you out in.
Snell got roughed up in his second start of the year, gave up 5 runs to the Yankees in 3 1/3, but since then has been lights out. Last 4 starts, he's been very good. Popped him up. Third base side. It's going to be Duffy.
Change up, got him. If Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring in a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your newspaper or on the Tiger page at foxsportsdetroit.com.
So 2 outs now. Here is Victor Martinez.
Now Snell went breaking ball to Candy. He went straight change to Nick right there. So again, all 4 pitches coming into play early here. You get guys in scoring position, they're going to blow their cover. They're going to let you know what they're going to do all game.
Ball 1. Victor is battling it a bit right now. He's had only 2 hits in his last 20 at bats, but they've both been big ones. He homered in Baltimore and then had a 2-run single in the 9th inning of game 1 in this series. Snell's 1-0 is outside, 2-0.
Yeah, Victor had 4 ground balls yesterday. Only saw 11 pitches. Back for a little different results today. He has an opportunity with Jamer on second base and a couple downs. Get a big 2-out RBI here. Tie this game up.
Here's the 2-0. Lifted in the air to right field. Straight at Gomez to end the inning. No runs. Tigers get a double. Strand to man. We go to the second.
Hanley, Jose, and Carlos Gomez, 125 plus home runs and 250 plus steals. Only 3 active players. Pretty good combo there.
And it'll be Gomez to lead things off here in the second. Gomez, Smith, and Echeverria. And as that graphic pointed out, he is a tremendous combination of power and speed, but this year he has really scuffled.
Striking out a lot.
A .178 batting average for Gomez. Showing bunt, good one. Forget about it. Fulmer bobbled but had a little chance anyway, and so Gomez on with a bunt single.
Yeah, just put that away. That's a perfect bunt. If it's not, we got a chance at it. Deads it perfect. Michael doesn't feel it cleanly. Good job. Thing when you want to bunt, you as a hitter, you got to take your time. Internally, you feel like you have to rush it. The longer that you stay in not bunt mode, the better it is, because the infielders can't read you. Just take your time. Let it come. Don't blow your cover.
Fly ball left field, slicing to the foul ground area, back out of play. 0-1 on Malik Smith.
So you know, with those nets down there, they protect the fans for sure, but they do take away some opportunities to catch the ball.
They do, but in that case there, Jacoby just picked it up and fired one over the net into the seats.
I'm saying as a fielder, you could jump in the stands and catch it, but the net, it stops you.
Good point. Ball high, 1-1.
Michael's still arm side high there. Looks to me like he's trying to keep Gomez at first. If you're a catcher right now, you're thinking inclination. I've seen great catchers. What are they inclined to do right here when they put the fingers down is put a 1 down. Fastball, they want a chance of getting that runner. That bodes well for the hitter.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Smith.
Smith came in on fire, really hot. He did have an infield hit last night, stole the base. But Tigers have done a pretty good job. The starting pitching has been outstanding. Had a hiccup in the bullpen on the first game last night. Excellent. Shane Green came in. Joe Jimenez got the job done. Bernards brings you the big money encounter. Highest batting averages since April 9th. You see Mr. Smith there, 358. Miggy not far behind, however, on the bench. Sure hope he's ready to go when we go to Kansas City.
Smith can get lost in that list.
Yeah.
He's got a really good start. Oh, and he hit him. And Fulmer now has put the first 2 men aboard here in the second after throwing 32 first inning pitches.
And Michael's not happy there. Just trying to get it in. Just holds on to it. Right in the hammy. Nobody out, 2 on as we start the second.
Here is a Danny Echeverria. Shortstop for the Rays. Former Marlin who spent 5 years with Miami.
I'd watch the bunt here.
There it is. Bunted in front of the plate. Fulmer has only 1 play, and so the runners will advance. Echeverria is out. It'll bring up the top of the order now, Denard Span.
This is that was just a routine bunt. Good job, got it down. Michael came in, made sure he got his out. Again, you've got to try and do damage control here. He obviously is struggling. You got to give the Rays some credit for that. Foul pitches off, etc.
Here is Span, who walked and scored in the first. Ball 1. In the age of analytics, you don't see sacrifice bunts all that often anymore.
Yeah, I think though when you got nobody out and you got a chance to make it first and second, the chance of multiple runs comes into play versus just 1 run. And you also have the top of your order coming up, so that makes a difference when you're figuring in on some of the analytics.
Snap throw to third and back in there. Gomez diving back in. Is he okay?
He's fine. It's just Carlos. Yeah, I like that, and that's a communication play between third baseman Jamer and McCann. Nobody saw it, but those two. That's a good thing. That's one of Gardy's deals, and he got back safely. But these plays will be better and better as time goes on.
To the right side, Machado cuts it off, and the throw to first, tough play, and they got the out.
He sprained his ankle there. He turned it just a little bit, didn't he?
A run will score. Gomez comes in, and as Fulmer hit the bag, it looked like he twisted it.
This is a tough play. Watch Michael right here. He's got to be on his way. Go ahead and run it. He tries to get over. Good job. He has a good angle. Yeah, it wanted to. It turned just a little bit. It was a good job by Michael to have a good angle going into the base. He got over, so he's running up the line when he received the throw. Machado waited for the right time to make a good throw so he could get himself under control.
Rays lead now 2-0. They have 3 hits. And here is Crone, who singled in the first, setting up a run. 1 ball and 1 strike. Crone now a 10-game streak. Trying to deliver Smith from third with 2 outs. That'll get back out of play.
You just look. Oh, this. Go ahead, Mario.
As you enjoy Miller Lite, look forward to the old true moment later in today's game. Proceed.
You know, just inning how it started: a bunt single, hit batsman, a bunt sack, a ground out. That gives you 1 run. It's just how this. So many ways to score. Everybody's done their job.
Off the end of the bat, it'll be Hicks, it'll be Fulmer, and that will retire the side. Rays get another run to go up 2-0. The city of Detroit played a significant role on this date in Major League Baseball history. Find out how after the break. Here at Comerica. Wrapping up a short homestand. Tigers home for 3 and then back on the road.
7, right? You get 7 days.
7 days.
Kansas City for 4.
For 4, correct.
Texas for 3.
First one is in there for a strike on Jacoby Jones. Hicks and then McCann will follow. The 0-1. 0-2 on Jacoby.
Good combination by Snell so far early in this game. That explosive fastball. He's throwing a good change as well.
Good job there. Jones not chasing. Snell is 25 years of age, born in Seattle, Washington. Was going to play college ball at Washington, but the Rays selected him in the first round. Chopped to third, easy hop there for Duffy. And one gone. We check in now with Trevor Thompson.
Mario, history was made here May 2nd, 1939, when the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, ended his Iron Man streak right here in the Motor City. It all took place at the Book Cadillac Motel. That's when Gehrig collapsed on these stairs, went into the bar at the hotel and told his manager, Joe McCarthy, I'm benching myself for the good of the team. That's because Gehrig was having the worst numbers of his career, batting a measly 143 with just 1 run knocked in as the calendar flipped to May. And a 14-year streak in the making came to an end in the Motor City that very day.
Pretty amazing. And Babe Dahlgren, his teammate that day, late in the game, the Yankees were beating the Tigers really bad. And Babe Dahlgren rather went to Gehrig and said, hey, why don't you replace me in the game? You'll keep the streak alive. And Gehrig said, nope. It's coming to an end today, and it did. So let's see. Our last series was in Baltimore, where Cal Ripken surpassed Gehrig's numbers. And this series here in Detroit, where Gehrig's numbers came to a close. I don't know, Gibby, I don't know how you feel, but to me, that is the one baseball record where I can't see ever being broken.
You think so?
I think so. I think that in this day and age, swing and a miss, and Hicks now with a count of 3-2. In this day and age, I think that you don't see many guys. Alcides Escobar has played every day, and he's got a little streak of about 355, 60, something like that. You think it's possible?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it, but you know, it's just you just never know when somebody's going to come along in the game and be able to accomplish any one of the many records that historically don't seem like they ever will be broke. I mean, what's another one that you can look at that you don't think would be broke?
DiMaggio would be tough. 56.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one. The last guy to really get on that was Pete Rose, George Brett, no, Bobby. Let's see, Paul Molitor. He had that one going, but that's a lot.
Here is McCann now after the 1-out walk by Hicks.
In the pitching records, the starters, it's changed so much. I don't know how they would get those.
Well, there's always been the talk of, will there be another 300-game winner, and that's, I don't know.
I think yes, though. On the 300-game winner, I do. You know, some people come by, they're just amazing athletes, and they're ageless. And I think somebody will come along and get 300 again. But 250, what do you skew the old 300 at? 275 win, 250 now?
Yeah, probably.
So it's the equivalent with inflation.
The 5 and now 6-man rotations makes that more difficult. 32 starts a year is a lot these days.
And they're talking about shortening the season.
That's true.
I hear the talk. I watch what you wish for right there, because there's a lot of things I think that could come of that the players would not like if they think that out a little bit. And I don't know, for me, I'm up for 162. If you're a fan, you want to see it.
Swing and a miss. McCann down on strikes. Snell's got his first of the game.
The Tigers take on the Mariners Saturday, May 12th at 4:10 p.m. The first 20,000 fans receive a free 1968 50th anniversary tote bag. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or go to thetigers.com.
Celebrating 1968 all season long. There was one of my favorite Tigers growing up, Norm Cash.
Did Mickey Loach have 300 innings that year?
Oh, he had to, yeah. I'm sure he did. He had well over 300, actually.
300 innings, 300 strikeouts. Danny McLean had a few wins that year, didn't he?
He did.
Will that be matched?
There's Mr. Kaline. That's another good one. That I would say no, winning 30 games a year. Again, just the way the game is going, but that's not to say it couldn't reverse course. Right off the end of the bat, and they better make a quick throw. They do. Nice play by Wendell. Iggy's out of there on a number. 2 in the books.
The games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Tigers baseball with you wherever you go. Made available by Oakland University.
It'll be Duffy here in the third. Duffy, Miller, Ramos against the right-hander Michael Fulmer, who threw 47 pitches to get through 2 innings, but the majority of those, 32 of them in the first. Yet the Rays have managed only 2 runs. Duffy flied out his first time up. Swing and a miss. Down he goes as Fulmer takes care of him. Well, our good friend Craig Monroe down field side for this one here today. And a little bit of a bumpy start for Mr. Fulmer today, Simo.
Yeah, a little bit, though. The Rays are getting to him early. He's making a couple mistakes up. And one thing about that Tampa Bay Rays team, they don't really strike out. They're pesky. They put the ball in play, and I think that's what's happening right now to Fulmer, but he'll find it.
0-1 on Brad Miller. He walked in the first inning. Couple of walks in that first for Fulmer. Little chopper up the middle. Iggy spinning, throwing. Oh, what a play by Iglesias.
Stop it.
How about that one, Simo? You had a pretty good view of that one.
Yeah, that was an outstanding play there. But I'm come accustomed to watching Iggy do that. I mean, he's just got tremendous range and whereabout. Where he always knows where he's at on the diamond. Look at this play here. Goes and picks it real quick, spins, and gets his man.
The impressive thing is when you spin like this and throw it that quickly and that accurately, going away from the base. That's not an easy play. That's what Michael needed, a little pick-me-up and get out of this one short and get back on track.
Here is Ramos. Strike 1 to Wilson Ramos. Single to not get a run in the first inning. Rays have 2 runs, 3 hits. Tigers no runs, 1 hit. Slice to right field. Castellanos will play it on 1 hop. So Ramos continues to swing it. He has been really hot, an 11 gamer.
Yeah, he's barreling stuff out over the plate. Really hits it in the right field, right on the button. You'd like to jam him occasionally, but if you miss, he's got big power. He's developed in a very good catcher and a very consistent hitter. Dangerous.
Joey Wendell, the batter here with 2 outs. Wendell into a 3-2 double play with the bases loaded in the first, and that really pulled Fulmer out of the fire, because at that point he was at 32 pitches. He had only 1 out with the bases full. Now we'll see if Michael can get on track here the rest of this game. Here's the 2-0. Wendell came in with 14 hits in his last 8 games. Really up and down this lineup. A lot of these Rays hitters with hitting streaks. Nice batting averages. Fouled away. And Simo, I think you brought up a great point. These guys don't strike out a whole lot, and they just find a way to put the ball in play, and that can work.
Well, it definitely can work, especially when you're facing an elite pitcher like Michael Fulmer. You know that he's not going to make many mistakes. And if you put yourself in a good hitting position and think about being short, if you get a pitch to hit, you can try to frustrate him a little bit, is what they try to do.
They've, again, we try and get a count on how many foul balls out of his 59 total pitches. Got a couple right there. And as a hitter, you know, sometimes you try, and I think early when you come up, I found it this way, Simo, I don't know how it was for you, but I always tried to hit every ball hard, like hit it out of the park, and it just doesn't work that way. Sometimes you just spoil them and wait for a mistake.
He went around, strike 3 called. That'll end the inning. Couple of strikeouts for Fulmer. When we come back, there have been some changes to top a couple of major league lineups. More on that in a moment.
Couple of new leadoff men. Bryce Harper led off last night for the Nationals. Wanted to get him more bats, and Anthony Rizzo as well. They both hit home runs. So Bryce Harper had not hit a homer since April 16th, so it worked. What do you got on it, Simo? Good move?
I love the move. You get your best hitter more at bats, and anytime you do that, that means that you're probably going to score more runs. And so I like the method to the madness of the new managers.
Well, Harper, he runs pretty well, and he can create havoc on the bases as well, but they've been pitching around him a ton. They've got a couple, the Eaton's out of the lineup, Rendon's out of the lineup, so he's a little naked in that lineup. So you put him up there, give him some more at bats, and hopefully he does some damage, and he did.
Dixon Machado leading it off here in the Tiger third.
Gibby, what do you got on Snell? I mean, he's 96 with his fastball with a nasty breaking ball right now. It seems to be giving the Tigers hitter a little bit of a trouble.
Yeah, just watching him, if you watch when he takes the ball out of his glove and he's in his windup, watch how fast and the power that you're going to see in his recoil getting ready to release this ball. And his arm comes quick. Comes back, he goes down, boom, just jumps out of his hand.
Echeverria will make the play. Machado is out.
Tigers do that. Again, let's take a look at his fundamentals, his form. Good balance point right there, Simo. He looks like he duplicates his motion. Doesn't have a problem with that. Drives down. Look at that arm come quick. Throwing way downhill. Boy, you slow it down like that, you can see how much stress goes on pitcher's shoulder and elbow, can't you?
Here's Martin. He looks at a ball high.
Tigers have been really good, though, making adjustments throughout the game. So I look for them to make the adjustments against Snell today.
Yeah, you got to be ready for that heater. But I've watched him throw the fastball slider, watched him take the fastball, and then the changeup. Slider and changeup are about the same. Been around 86, 88 miles an hour. So one time it's 86 and it slides. One time it's 86 and it changes.
I think when a guy throws 96, 95 or above, I think you have to sit fastball.
I think you might have to cheat a little bit too. We got to get the bat there.
I do, and not necessarily cheat with your swing, guys. I would cheat with my timing. I would start my rhythm a little bit early, so I could get the bat head a little bit more out front.
Get the foot down earlier.
Yes, sir.
2-2 on Martin. Leonis has hit a couple of home runs for the Tigers. A little bit of pop at the top of the lineup. But Gardy was talking before the game about Martin, and he said, you know, when I was in Minnesota, we had Jock Jones leading off, and he struck out a lot, but he also hit some home runs. And apparently Jock Jones' license plate said 1-0.
Really?
That's a great license plate.
I love it.
And Gardy says, I love 1-0. Your leadoff man can get you a quick run. Why not? 2 gone.
Just explodes right here, especially if you're looking for anything on speed. Again, he closes. Ball disappeared. Looking for the heater. Look at that break. Look at the depth on it. It really doesn't start out straight at you and then drop. It just comes right out of his hand. Very hard to recognize that pitch.
We have seen 3 really good pitchers for the Rays in this series. Faria game 1, Archer last night, and now Snell here today.
Always been known for slapping guys on the mound. They're pretty good, especially the starters.
Well, I was talking to their manager, Kevin Cash, a couple days ago, and he told me that Snell, the biggest difference has been confidence. He now believes that he can be an elite pitcher in this game.
Soft roller to first base, gobbled up there by Miller. He'll tag the bag for the out. Tigers go 1-2-3. Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire.
by 14 strikeouts as he cruised through 8 innings last night for Houston against the Yankees. And then did you see this? Reliever Ken Giles came into the scoreless 9th inning and he gave up 4 runs, and he showed his anger by entering the field and he punched himself in the head. Mario, Gibby, that's me after almost every Tigers Live pregame show.
Judd Heathcote.
That's our bosses too, after every Tigers Live pregame show. You know, I don't know. I saw that. I'm not sure he made full contact here. At least one of those wrestling moves.
Well, like I said, Judd Heathcote used to do that several times in a game at Michigan State. You
Smack
remember?
his head. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He'll dive low and away. Did he go? Did not. Carlos Gomez leading things off here. Gomez, Smith, Echeverria in the 4th inning.
I tell you, I was out there, 4 home runs. Boy, I had to try and pitch a little different before that. That's hard to do.
Simo, what's the worst thing you've done after being frustrated on the field? Maybe snap a bat?
Well, maybe snap the bat in the dugout, not necessarily on the field, but snap the bat underneath the tunnel, yelling obscene things that nobody should hear.
I can remember George Brett and I used to, when I was in Kansas City, we made a shrine above our lockers of things we destroyed, like helmets and stuff.
Is that right?
He got the weighing machine one time, those old-fashioned weighing machines. But one time I threw one, it hit right on the corner of the brick, came back and hit me right in the forehead, knocked me down.
I've went through a couple helmets in my day too. As if the helmet, as if it was the helmet's fault.
Carlos Gomez, he does the Bo Jackson thing. I don't know, this might hurt if it didn't break. Over the knee, over the leg. You ever do that, Simo?
No. I mean, have you seen this guy's legs? He's an animal, dude. He's strong as a Knox.
3-2 on Gomez. You know, I think there were some stadiums that actually had punching bags down in the stairwell heading up to the clubhouse, where guys, if they got a little bit frustrated, could take it out on the punching bag.
We had one of those in L.A.
Did you?
Yeah, and then you go to hit that really hard and you miss it, and you hit the wood part above and scuff your knuckles. Just like anything, you overswing, it's never good.
Chap to third base, right at Candelario. Gomez is out.
Can't accuse him of not hustling. He legged it all the way down there. He knew it was probably for no reason. Carlos Gomez, give him credit. He's really running. This is right to Candy. Just a little over 4 seconds. When you hit one just like back the pitcher, sometimes they bait you. I run as hard as I can, make him do it. Boy, Hicks has been busy. So is Michael Fulmer at first.
And every Hicks feed has been right on the mark in this game.
Well, we got 2 outs. I should say 2 quick outs. This would be big if we get another one right here.
Hicksy looks really good over there at first base, guys. I mean, I know he filled in last year for Miggy as well, but I mean, the glove work, the awareness around the base, as you alluded to, the flips. I mean, he's spot on today.
Yeah, one thing I like about it, he plays off first base.
Ball 1.
Remember Lyle Overbay, he's the first guy. That's pretty good distance. I know Overbay and Paul Goldschmidt, they're way out there where that X is. You tell me how many balls you see to go right over the first base bag.
Yeah, not many.
So they always felt that most first basemen won't play out there because they got to get to the bag.
Yeah, and also defense, guys, is a want to, and you can tell with Hicksy over there and behind the plate, he wants to make plays.
1-2 on Echeverria.
Let's get him right here. Cut that pitch count off at 73.
Here's the 1-2. Another foul ball.
He's really let that get deep, but he's not going to want to strike out. That's that approach that Simo always talks about right there. Almost took it out of the glove of McCann.
I think that's just showing a lot of trust. You mean you have to trust yourself for 2 strikes, and now is not the time to panic when you're in the batter's box.
Got a feeling a ball's going to come up here today.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you better be ready. I'm
Why?
counting on you.
Well, it's going to come in your window.
That's what I'm saying. You better be ready.
Oh, you wanted that.
Fulmer desperately wanted that. Pitch count now at 75 for Michael. Fouled away. You know who used to give up a lot of foul balls is Justin Verlander. It seemed like every start JV made here, man, it was foul ball after foul ball. And then Fulmer, the same thing here today. What are some of the reasons behind it?
Yeah, fastballs, elevation, and just the approach. These guys, Tampa, that's what they do.
Now all of a sudden Echeverria is ahead in the count, 3-2.
Yeah, the ball's out over the plate. Echeverria, you can see that he's not even swinging. His bat is going straight to the ball.
Another foul ball.
Gibby, don't you think it's a lot easier though for guys that don't hit the ball out of the ballpark when that's not their game? They're better at shortening up their swings and just trying to make contact.
Look at it. He's just going. He's not even really trying to pull that ball in play. He's just staying alive.
Got him. Finally. 1-2-3 inning. 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Fulmer. Hey, Nicholas Castellanos getting set to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th.
Mother's Day, May 13th, by Pinking Out the Park. Special ticket packages include a T-shirt and donation to the Carmanis Cancer Institute. Purchase a ticket package, and for more information, please visit tigers.com/pinkout.
Here is Nicholas Castellanos to lead it off. It'll be Castellanos, then Martinez, then Jones.
Jimmy, speaking of pinking out the park, I mean, is this a jacket thing? Is it just a suit jacket you wanted me to get a pink, or is it the whole suit?
I just visualize you lighting up.
The whole suit?
You're the man on that.
I mean, is that a challenge? Is that a challenge? Are you like challenging me to do it, or are you just saying a jacket would be nice, or the pants, whichever way I decide to do it?
I want you to make a statement for the cause. So
I will definitely
come
pink
down
out
here,
the park then.
Come down here like an old man like me. I want you to glow and say, yeah, Simo's, he's on board.
All right, that sounds good.
Oh, challenge accepted, apparently.
Absolutely.
Nice. I can't wait.
If you do it, Mario let me dump the like the ALS challenge, the ice bucket thing.
Yeah.
Just he told me 1 16-ounce water. That's it. but chili. So,
Mario, is that a deal?
No, I can't do that.
Oh, come on, Mario.
But I know you will wear the suit.
I will. I will.
Nick right there going down on strikes. And Simo, what are you seeing down there? This guy, I mean, I know it's 95, 96. This is not the only guy to do that. There's something more to this delivery.
No, there's no question there is more, guys. Watching and listening to the guys kind of chatting in here in the dugout, they're really talking about how quickly the fastball is getting on them in the batter's box. And they're also talking about the fact that Snell has an outstanding slider, and it's tough to pick up. They're saying that the rotation of that particular pitch at the moment is giving them a little bit of a fit.
V-Mart slicing one in the air to right field, hit pretty good, but it's going to be caught at the warning track by Gomez. 2 gone. You mentioned, Simo, last half inning that Kevin Cash told you that Snell is pitching with a lot more confidence. I was reading an article that said he's getting that confidence, or got that confidence, from one of his teammates, last night's starter Chris Archer, who has told him, look, you've got tremendous stuff. Now it's time for you to kind of act like it, go out there and win big league games, and that could be huge.
Oh, there's no question. It's been huge for Snell. And that's what veteran pitchers do. You know, they got a way of communicating with you and building your confidence up. And I think that's exactly what Chris Archer does for this whole staff.
You know, Snell's 6'4" as well, so he's a little longer than most, and he's got a pretty big Schinberger.
And they have to hurry, and they'll get him. Jacoby is out. 1-2-3 inning for Snell.
Defense has been exceptional today. How about Hicks over there? The 3-2 double play gets Michael out in, and then Iggy up the middle, quick spin. That's an excellent play, and Hicks again over there at first. All the throws have been good. Michael Fulmer covering the bag. Tigers trail 2-0. Could be much worse if those plays were not made.
In the meantime, now it's the top of the lineup. Denard Span will lead things off, and then C.J. Crone and Matt Duffy facing the right-hander. Fulmer has surrendered 2 runs, 4 hits. That's in there for a strike.
Here's Chevy's most dependable player. Look at the Tiger defense right there. The lowest starters ERA. Tigers are 5th in the league. Defense obviously helps that.
Does go hand in hand. Span is out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row retired now by Fulmer.
Pitchers are always encouraged to let the opponents hit the ball. Obviously, you can't throw it right down the middle, waste time. You got to make decent pitches to zones. Let your fielders pick it up, take care of it. They're much more in the game. It works.
Here is Crone. Yeah, I've always wondered about that relationship with a fast working pitcher and the ability to play better defense, but I would think it affects outfielders more because you're just so far away from the action that if you have a slow worker, especially on a cold day. Simo, what was that like when you got a guy that's really laboring on the mound?
Well, you start to get on your heels, and that's not good for yourself. It's definitely not good for the pitcher. What you like for the pitcher to do is to work efficiently and have a pretty good pace, and that way I can stay on the balls of my feet and be able to, hopefully, if he does make a mistake, I can make a play.
I think it helps every player on the field, just because it's hard to just stand out there, and it's frustrating when they're not throwing strikes. They're always behind in the count. 2-2 on CJ. Michael Fulmer's throwing the ball, getting quicker outs here in the last inning or two.
Here's the 2-2. Got him, strike 3. 2 away. 4 strikeouts now for Fulmer.
Well, looking at something different right there. The fastball runs back off the outside corner right on the plate. Crone understands that and just takes a little seat. No arguing that call.
Here is Duffy. Popped up. Shallow center field. It's going to be Machado, and there you go. Very snappy inning for Michael Fulmer. John Hicks gets started in the 5th. Fifth inning. Tigers trying to get to Blake Snell. They've not been able to do it to this point. He has had a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings on a very warm, beautiful day here in the Motor City. And Hicks lines the first pitch into right field.
Get over his head.
Going back. He looks up, and that ball is up the wall. Hicks is going to be held to a single.
Well, that breaks the trend. Tigers been first pitch swinging lately, and that tells you how much they respect what Snell is offering.
Well, Gibby, how about this? Another outstanding play off the wall by Carlos Gomez.
Yeah,
this is a double, but look at that athleticism there. But nice piece of hitting there by Hickson.
Yeah, you're right. He lines it up perfect right here.
He had retired 8 straight prior to that Hicks single, only the second hit for the Tigers in this game. Here is James McCann. Mackay strikeout in the second. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, they're swinging early now. You can see the second baseman over here. Big hole. Hello.
Well, I think that was adjustment that they had to make, because if you look at it, the way his slider is breaking and getting guys way on that front foot, eliminate that pitch and just hunt fastball.
Yep. And if you miss it, it's a strike.
Yep.
0-2.
He's featured a lot of breaking balls to James. High heater for Chase right here with the breaking ball.
Line drive to left. It's going to be an 0-2 single, and here come the Tigers now with 2 on, nobody out.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch now. Snell has dominated the Tigers coming into this inning through the fastball. He's getting his fly balls there, and the breaking balls you'll notice here is how he's getting guys on the strikeouts. Now the Tigers have adjusted their method and their approach. Like Simo said, they're going to swing. It's oh, I swung. If it's a fastball, I may get the head on it, right, Simo?
Yes.
If it's a curveball, it's a strike anyway.
Well, in the way that we're swinging and missing it, I mean, it's a plus pitch for him today. So you eliminate it. If when he throws a good one, you're not going to hit it anyway. So you might as well hunt fastballs, and it looks like that's what the Tigers are doing. I knew it was only a matter of time before they make adjustments. That's what I love about this team, guys. They make the in-game adjustments, and they make them very quickly. So, again, you can be excited about the fact that they don't quit and they make adjustments. And they're going to be able to get to Snell, I believe, right here in this bottom of the 5th inning.
Here is Iglesias. He is 0 for 1 with a ground ball. Showing bunt. Iggy hits one right back to the mound, and they're going to get the out at first, advance the runners. Snell thought about it for a moment, but decided to go to first.
You're right. Like Snell came in and he was thinking about it, but then something went off in his head. This is what you call slowing the game down. You're thinking 3-3-3. Let me just take my out here. I got a 2-0 lead. I got good stuff. If I get out of here with no runs, great. 1 run is okay too. That's what you talk about. Just you don't want to. If you rush that, throw it into the outfield. Tigers fans would love it, but for a player, you got to keep yourself under control.
Ball 1 to Machado. Tigers had 2 shots now to get these runs in. Dixon, a ground ball, is 0 for 1.
And the infield is back. Third baseman may be the only spot you don't go.
And he did not go.
And if you're Dixon here, guys, situational hitting, runners at third base, less than 2 outs, you really have to stay on the baseball and try to drive it up the middle. Ground ball to the shortstop, second base, gets the job done.
All up the middle of the field here.
Yes.
Behind that line, you're going to score a run.
Fouled it off, 2-1 on Machado.
And young hitters, you also have to get a pitch to be able to do that job. You can't swing at that pitch on the inner half. You have to force the pitcher to push that ball away from you a little bit to give yourself some room so you can hit that ground ball up the middle.
That's a hard slider. That's 89-mile-an-hour slider. Just coming right out of the hand. You got to get a heater here, don't you think, Simo?
I think so.
You got Leonis Martin on deck, the lefty. Fastball away, I'll bet.
Chopper left side of the infield. This will get a run in. Machado drives one in with a ground out.
Great at bat.
13.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll take that run. The Rays scored a run like that for their second run. Look at this, you got to watch here and you got to watch here. Good read. Back to second by James. You get a run in. Machado does his job. And of course, you'd like a home run, but you're just clawing and scratching. James is at second, and Martinez with the chance to drive him in. It's not always going to be the 3-run homer.
Martin drives one to center field. Smith will run back and get it. That'll end the inning. Simo, we'll see you on postgame. Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. Thanks. Enjoyed it.
Simo. By Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Tigers trail 2-1 here as we go to the top of the 6th. They scratched a run out. And Michael Fulmer will have another quick inning as he did the last one. They're swinging early as well.
Down the left field line, going to the corner, and it's going to be caught there by Jacoby. 1 pitch, 1 out.
32 pitches in the first inning. You can see most this season and 4th most in his career in a single inning, but since then, especially the last, averaging 14 pitches in inning 2 through 5.
So he is at 89 right now in the pitch total. He's retired 8 straight. Here is Wilson Ramos.
Well, Michael just took a walk for some reason. Well, the thing about it is this is a tight game. We've had good defense. We've had some good situational hitting. You keep it this way, it's going to come down to the bullpens. Tigers bullpen was outstanding yesterday, and you just figure if it's tied, here we are in the 6th. You got Green in the 9th again. You got Jimenez in the 8th. So we got to get through 6 and 7. Got to believe it's Alex Wilson. He's going to fit in there somewhere. And maybe the lefty Daniel Stump.
Miguel Cabrera is on the Tigers bench. 3rd straight game he has missed. The high water mark this year for Fulmer is 99 pitches, and that came in his last start in Pittsburgh.
I'd say maybe 105 pitches.
Missing high, 3-1.
Unless he gets into a longer inning.
2 singles for Ramos. Little chopper up the middle. Iglesias can't get it. Into center field, a base hit.
Big hop right there. Star Wars night is Friday, May 11th, when the Tigers face the Mariners. Special ticket packages are on sale now, featuring a game ticket, Chewbacca t-shirt, and donation to Stand Up to Cancer. Purchase your exclusive Star Wars ticket package. Visit tigers.com/Star Wars. Chewbacca t-shirt.
Chewie to his friends.
You a big Star Wars?
No.
You know them all?
No, I don't. Chewbacca is the only one. Princess Leia, is that Star Wars? That is Star Wars, so that's 2.
Not holding over at first base. And Brad Miller.
Two 2-0 on Joey Wendell.
That's Wilson Ramos over there, the catcher. I think he might have 1 stolen base this year. I've seen him steal a base before. You can't just let him go.
Ball high now, 3-0 on Mr. Wendell. Remember that song?
Mr. Wendell?
Mr. Wendell. Arrested Development?
I don't remember it.
It was a while ago.
Is that a rock song?
No.
No wonder.
That's a good point.
No, James McCann going out, and Michael's gone back to missing it up high again. 97 pitches. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't see some action real quick out there in the bullpen. Each team with 4 trips available yet to go in the game. Each have used 2.
High strike, 3-1. Wendell with a double play ball and a strikeout. Rays got 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Tigers got on the board with 1 in the 5th. To center field for Martin. Leonis gonna run it down. That ball carried to the warning track.
Michael Fulmer, here's our Xfinity high-speed pitch. 98 today. Reached back earlier. Low of 84. That'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez bunt single. Scored, run, and a ground out.
Chad Bell heating in the Tigers bullpen.
That would tell me he's got length. That would tell me maybe they try to get him through till the Tigers got the lead.
Two 5-0 for the Rays, 1 3-0 for the Tigers. It'll dive in for a strike. 1-1 on Carlos Gomez. Utilizing his speed with that bunt single back in the second. Little looper into center field. Martin has to back off. Played on 1 hop. It's a single. 2 on now with 2 outs. Now it's going to bring up Malik Smith.
Yeah, right there. Leonis was coming in. It looked like he might have a shot at it, but smartly pulled up. That's one of those that you get in between on. Plus, he has that tender hamstring. If you reach for that, that's how you can really rip it. So, he made the smart and the right, correct play.
Here's Smith. Strike 1.
103 pitches. It looks like 110's tops.
So Fulmer in this game become just the second Tigers pitcher to throw at least 100 pitches in a game. Matt Boyd the other. They've only had 2 of those. Largely today due to the 32 pitch first. It'll sink low and away, 2-1. Smith trying to deliver here with 2 outs. We're on the 6th inning. These 2 teams have already played 2 one-run games. You've got another one brewing here today. Here's the 2-1. Smith didn't like it, 2-2.
Thought it was inside.
Not so, said Chad Whitson. Just off the plate now, 3-2, which means the runners now will get a head start. Ramos at second. Gomez at first.
No, if he goes here, Fulmer doesn't get a foul ball. There's a play the Tigers could do.
Little chopper foul.
So you got the big catcher down there at second base, right? Now you just lift it. Like he just took off running right away. I was looking now, you just get a little inside move action. If you got a good one, it could pick him off. Nobody would expect it. Because he wants to make sure he gets going and scores. Don't know if the Tigers have that play in their arsenal. And Iggy's way over. It's not going to happen.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Fulmer pitches through a jam here in the 6th. 5th strikeout. Candyman leads us off, and we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Reach your expectations of what a bank can be. Come Duke America. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory.
Well, let's see if the Tigers can make it happen here. They've got 2, 3, and 4 coming up in the 6th, down by a run. And it's going to be Candelario to lead it off. Candy with a double in this ball game, did not score. He'll shoot one to left center field, and it's going to be run down by Malik Smith.
He covers a lot of ground out there. Just missed it. Candy. Just a little bit off the sweet spot. Laid up there just a little too long. Tiger's getting much better swings on Snell. See, it just gets in a little bit, and Smith, he goes a long way. Ball hangs up. That'll leave it up to Nick. It went a little farther over that wall out there.
Snell has surrendered only 3 hits in this game today. Over his final 10 starts last year, he was 5-1 and has continued that success into this year. 2-0.
And the Tigers, that's, you know, Snell's been up parts of 2 seasons before this year. The Tigers are looking for some of their developing young starters down in the minor leagues.
Two and one on Nick. Martinez waiting on deck. Tigers finally got a run in the 5th on a ground out with runners at 2nd and 3rd. Machado drove him in. And a ball outside, 3-1. Alex Wilson now in the Tigers bullpen. Full count, 3-2.
85 there on the 3-1 count. Rays continue to throw in reverse of what you'd think on that count. Guy's got a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. You'd think you'd get it. Got it there, but it was in on the hands.
Snell comes from a baseball family. His father pitched in the minor leagues for 6 seasons with the Royals and the Mariners. But his son has gone to the big leagues. Former 1st-round pick. And he got him, strike 3. So Castellanos caught looking for strikeouts now for Snell.
Well, it looks like Nick got caught guessing. He's throwing that slider right there, 88. That's hard. He knew it. Threw the change up before that. That's what happens when you got a guy that has more than one dominating pitch. It's tricky.
Vimard looks at a strike. Here's the Bernstein advantage. Highest batting average against the Rays among actives, and Victor is right there
behind Joe Mauer and Howie Kendrick. Oh no.
Oh, apparently so. 0-2. Victor did not agree with that call.
Didn't look like it from here, but I don't make the call. Plus, I'm a homer. Victor's doing the old got something in my eye. Well, you gotta get yourself settled down. So you do get irritated sometimes when you get in a hole like that. So far, not a very good at bat, but hopefully it can turn into one. How long would it take you to get rid of something like that up there, do you think?
Irritation?
Just go right away?
No. And I think for most people it doesn't go right away. Here's the 1-2. It'll chop to the 3rd base side where Duffy is positioned. Another ground ball out for Victor Martinez. 1-2-3 for Snell here in the 6th.
Fulmer's day is complete. 6 innings on the day. Struggled early, 30-some pitches here in the first inning. Got himself in trouble, but battled through the 6 innings to keep the Tigers in the game. The Tigers have scored 1 run. Got in a real groove here at the end, but his pitch count had just climbed. His day is complete. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits or 2 runs, 2 walks, and 5 Ks, and having a little conversation with his pitching coach. Ran his pitch count up there close to 105. That's the highest of the year. So overall, a good performance. Struggled, but he is really a battler.
Echeverria lines one to left field for the first out.
Got a wall side windows pitching change this season. Alex Wilson, this is his 15th game. ERA continues to go down. Opponents only hitting .213 off him, and really trying to get him in the groove as one of these bridge guys from 6 innings. You know, you got Jimenez next inning. You got Greeny in the 9th if we're still close. So who's that guy? And they like A. Willie in that situation.
Bridge guys sometimes can be underappreciated. Somebody's got to get it to the 8th and 9th. Here's a ball low to Denard Span. Wilson threw a scoreless inning in game 1 in the series, and Willie, of course, went 2 2/3 scoreless in Baltimore on Sunday in relief of Daniel Norris, who left with an injury. Two 2-0 on Denard Span. What's going on with Gomez?
I don't know, but he hustles.
Meanwhile, 3-0 now in Span. Walk and a run scored plus an RBI for Span. Ball 4.
Now, if you're an outfielder right here, where do you play a guy? Well, we're going to bring out some numbers. Some exit velocity and the launch angle. There's a coordination between the two. Obviously, a higher velocity is going to go farther. The launch angle, if you've got a high exit velocity and a high launch angle. So here's the MLB average down here. Looking out at the bottom. Or CJ Cron right here. He's above that average, and his launch angle is above. So where do you play him? I mean, we know that this guy's got pop. But I've just been kind of watching the correlation because this is so talked about. Just talking about and how does it correlate between where you may want to play as an outfielder, the depth when you had second and third or first, second and third. Sometimes you know if you go too deep, you're conceding maybe a bloop single, and if you know by some of these numbers that he doesn't really have that pop normally. If a good pitch is made, you might want to cheat in. You might want to take that little cheapie away and or have a chance to cut the guy down at the plate. So that's the beginning. We'll continue to try and figure out what it really means and educate you as well. This is new numbers to me. You're seeing a lot of it around the game. What do you got on that, Mario?
So if you've got a guy with a launch angle that is above major league average, how does that affect the way you play in the outfield? So you're telling us you play them a little bit deeper? With
velocity. Okay, with velocity off the bat and the higher launch angle, I'd say it's a chance that you could hit a deep fly. Okay, and we know CJ Cron, what he's capable of doing, but on a guy that maybe you don't know doesn't have as much history. They're doing this in the minor leagues as well now. So like I said, these are new numbers, and I know when we talk about them, it's fairly new. You know, how do you put it in perspective? How is it really used, and what value can it add to trying to win a ball game? This is the way I look at it right now. I mean, I'm trying to educate myself and understand. You know, obviously you can see the outfield defense right here. Nick's fairly deep, and Martine's trying to get out there. that gap, because we know he can go out that way. But again, I think that these numbers just kind of verify what maybe you know by, because you have charts as well. Maybe I'll try and get a spray chart for us for one of these upcoming telecasts where there's a chart of every ball that's hit. So you look at the chart, you look at this, and it kind of gives you. The thing is that it changes as well. Sometimes you're hot and your numbers are going to go down. Or I'm saying they're going to go up. If you're not so hot, maybe they go down a little bit. So it's a combination of ways to determine how you defend somebody or how you're going to attack a guy. I'm sure the pitchers could. I'll try and look into seeing how they may use those numbers and try to figure out where they might want to pitch a guy. At lower velocity, I would just think that you might have the ability on some of these guys to jam them more.
Ooh, he went up top, chased it, and Crone strikes out, 2 gone. First strikeout of the ball game for Wilson.
Willie going up top. That's what you call a zero launch angle, zero velocity.
Now, are you aware of whether or not they are shifting in the minor league level to the extent they are here at the major league level?
I can tell you, I saw Houston. They do. Blue Jays, they did. Absolutely.
I would think that if you get to the major league level and that's the way you're going to play games, you would want to plant that seed in the minor league level.
Well, one of the other things that's really important is you want them to understand the cutoff and relays, because it's not the same as it is when you're not shifting. When you shift, everything's different. You have different checkoffs, different reads, and it's hard to catch it on TV all the time. We try and do it, but different pitches, different guys, they move within an at bat.
Daniel Stump is warming up in the Tigers bullpen. 2-1 Rays lead. We're in the 7th. Man on, 2 men out. A little bit closer than I thought that was going to be. A Span just got back.
Here's what James is saying. He's watching the leadoff right there. See him throwing down a lot this year. This is one of the things Ron Gardenhire believes in. I got my watch ready for the throw.
Strike called.
1 and 2. I think they run right here. Could count to pitch out on as well. However, they don't pitch out much anymore. Notice that?
You don't nearly see it as much ever as you did before. I mean, I can't remember the last pitch out.
No,
tied him up. Duffy is out of there. Inning is over. Jacoby Jones will lead things off for the Tigers. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch.
10 p.m. Come early for On-Field Photo Day, your chance to take photos of your favorite Tiger players on the Comerica Park field. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
And Jacoby Jones lays off the 7th with a solid single to left field. The Tigers now have the tying run on. Snell had a 1-2-3-6, but he's greeted with a base hit.
So we're talking about exit velocities right now. We got Jacoby Jones, his average exit velocity well above the MLB average. That's down here at the bottom. We just randomly built some of these, and we'll, as the balls are going out into the outfield, we'll bring you in on it and show you the exit velocity and the launch angle. Now obviously that was a real low launch angle. It came off hot. Had elevation, that maybe could have went out of the park.
Meanwhile, Kyle Snyder coming out now and having a chat with Snell, who is only at 79 pitches.
Yeah, he's been really efficient.
Cabrera lurking in the Tiger dugout. May be available today.
And you see again that Jacoby Jones, who just hit that ball, average launch angle is right here at 12.5%. So he's been hitting a lot of line drives. I think generally over 20%. You get 20% with anything over 95-ish, up around 100 exit velocity. Those balls are going to carry. Miggy's getting ready. Yeah, I figured he'd be available today after 2 days.
He's got the batting gloves on. Probably heading down to the cage right now for a couple of swings.
Hopefully that slider's flattened out.
1 ball, 1 strike on Hicks. He got it started back in the 5th with a single rather, and scored the Tigers' only run.
Now that's third base coach Dave Clark giving the signs. He's telling him to look at your outfielders, because with Jacoby, if he knows it's going to drop and he gets going, he can score on a short double.
Fly ball to center field, chasing Smith back. Runner will tag. Jones coming to second base. Here's the throw, and he is going to be out. A one-hop throw from the center fielder Smith, and Jones tried to get to second. He's gunned down.
They're going to take a look at this one to make sure. I mean, they had him and the ball beat him. Did he sneak his hand in on him? This is an aggressive play. He's putting it on him. Yeah, he's got him. Good job by Smith here. He gets around behind it and makes a good throw. Now, one of the other ways you can do that is you can start off and kind of read the ball. It's kind of a more of a safety position. You see it's right on the base. You retreat. But this is the way I know Gardy likes to play it. It bit him this time, but it was worthy effort.
Here is McCann. McGarty said over and over that we want to play the game that way, and sometimes he will get thrown out, but what it does is the other team, it forces them to make a mental note that you will be aggressive.
Well, the other thing is, got to give Smith props for making a good throw.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to do it. If you're just going to sit back and wait for a home run off of Snell, probably not going to happen. So they're pushing it to another level, and that's a good defensive play. Let's take a look at the fly ball right here. We're talking about launch angle and velo. 94.4, 32 degrees now. That's in the mid-20s. That may pull out of the park as well, but again, we're just trying to figure out about where it is.
That ball is launched to left field, way back to the track, to the wall, and we are tied. James McCann goes deep to left. It's 2-2.
Who can?
James McCann can.
That a boy. Got him early right here. He's seen enough of those today. It's flattening out a little bit. 87-mile-an-hour slider. And James goes yard. That's going to be it for Mr. Snell.
So McCann picks up Jones, who was thrown out, trying to advance on a fly ball, and the Tigers have tied this one up at 2. Snell is done for the day and will be back. A 2-out solo shot. Jazz Rowe coming out of the bullpen now to face Iglesias, and there's a strike 0-1.
Lots of sliders. Chaz didn't throw very well the other day. Tigers, that was the first game. Tigers almost had a rally to come back from 3 down. Fell 1 short.
Rowe came on in the 9th inning and gave up a couple of runs.
Now let's look at James McCann. We're going to go to StatCast again. We were talking about the velocity. There's 100.5 mile per hour, 30-degree launch angle, 414 feet. Now, going back to Hicks's fly ball, he was right around 95 and 95 exit velocity, 32 degrees.
Sliced up the middle on the backhand. They'll throw him out. Good play by Wendell. That'll end the inning. Tigers tied up though. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
what happens, what influences. Remember this play? Jacoby Jones tried to make a good play. Malik Smith made a good throw and cut down Jacoby. The next batter went yard. So is that a mistake? Or is that just a way of playing? I think Jacoby's trying to make something happen there. The Tigers had not hit Snell very hard all day. And doesn't make it the wrong move is what I'm trying to say. You know, you just can't say, well, you know, I'm sure people say, well, if he wouldn't have got thrown out, we would have had the lead. Obviously.
Well, but I don't buy into that either, because who knows who to throw on the same pitches with a guy at second base.
Or who doesn't know that McCann would have just got a single or hit it. You know, they got a double play. Hey, we got a wall side windows pitching change. Daniel Stump.
Uh-oh, this is going to stay fair. Stump will try and throw him out too late.
These guys can bunt.
One single for Miller.
You could hear that. Did you hear how soft that was? It's right off the end of the bat. We can show this. Watch it. That goes. They were soft hands. You could hear. You could hear their dugout umpiring as well. So Tigers got the hands full right here, and runner at first, leadoff runner on.
That is the second bunt single of the afternoon for the Rays. Gomez has the other. And here is Wilson Ramos, who has 3 hits.
You're thinking with Miller, what are you thinking? He's going to bunt. He's the 4-hole hitter, cleanup hitter. You're thinking he's going to try and go for the dinger. That's good play. Get it down, you got him, and they did.
Joe Jimenez warming up. Meanwhile, 2-0 on Ramos.
I would think they'd get through Wendell. Actually, he may only have one hitter right here. We'll see what happens.
Long run. Hicks almost got there. Man, he bolted for that ball.
He was going hard. I think he thought about diving. That would have been tough. Going as fast as he can. He's all over there. You see the tarp coming up on you. It's pretty hard to get those arms out far, but he did. He would have dove. He would have went head first right into that. Good effort.
Ramos 3 singles and an RBI. He'll pull that one down the left field line. Hooking, though, foul. 2-2. Full count, 3-2 on Ramos. Joey Wendell waiting on deck.
Wendell 6 for 13 off lefties, so he's feeling pretty comfy. See what Gardy does here after this hitter.
Right at Martin in center field, and Leonis comes in.
Hey fans, the Tigers head to Kansas City to take on the Royals, so join us tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. as we kick things off with the Tigers live right here on the one and only Fox Sports Detroit.
Salvador Perez back in the lineup for the Royals on Tigers Live pregame tomorrow. Talk about where he ranks among the best catchers in the American League. It's going to be it for Stump.
Yeah, he saw that 6 for 13. Going to turn him around and let Joe go to work.
So Gardy will take the baseball. Joe Jimenez coming in. Pitching change here in Detroit.
moment. Joe Jimenez yesterday came in. Tigers trying to preserve a victory. Came in and got 3 quick outs. A lot more movement. Look at how that ball's tailing on that fastball. Didn't have that movement last year. And up to 97, 98 miles an hour yesterday. So that's what the Tigers are looking for again today.
Joe Jimenez making his team high 16th appearance, which is also the second most in the American League.
Gardy knows it, but when you got a chance to win a ball game right now, you're going to have to put him in, and only in these situations. We're behind by a run. I don't know if he'd put him in. Somebody's going to have to step up and define themselves out of that bullpen.
Joey Wendell is 0 for 3. 314 batting average. Runner goes. Bouncing ball right side. Hicks will tag the bag for the out, and the runner will advance to second. 2 gone.
Download the app, play for free, start your streak, and compete to win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Beat the Streak. That's a good play by Hicksy right there. As you see, he's kind of in no man's land, got down on his knees like a catcher, got his chest over top of it, and smothered it.
Yeah, Gomez trying to drive in a run with 2 outs. Soft line drive and caught by Machado to end the inning. Nifty play by Dixon. Got some hops.
Get up.
Ram results in a 2-2 ball game, and I'm just going to throw this out to Mario. Maybe when you get back from your little road trip, we could have a session, maybe an instructional, really, on how the pitch should be made, because I'm not sure your hold on first place is going to last.
The creeper
through the
keeps
trip.
creeping is all I know.
What are they talking about?
You know what? This guy's pretty mouthy for being in 3rd place. But you know what? That's okay, Keats. We'll keep the hashtag going strong. And
I'm due for more points this inning.
You know what?
Candyman's up 3rd.
I got to admit, because Keating had a good year last year and Vic the Stick, he won the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I am a little concerned.
I'm lurking, ever lurking.
Creeping and lurking. Those are 2 words to perfectly describe you.
And you're not the first person to say that.
No, there's a long list.
Hey, Keats.
Some people in college would tell you that as well.
Keats, how was the light the lamp competition this year?
It went fine.
That's cold.
I couldn't see last place from where I was. I mean, I aspired to be, to the next.
So the lamp was off, I hear.
The lamp was off. Yeah, it was the goalies won that thing, but that's why we have redoubled our efforts to make sure that doesn't happen again at Pick the Stick, presented by Ram.
Well, it looks like Mr. Green is warming up, and Kevin Cash has come out to the mound, and he'll take the baseball now from Chaz Rose. So we've got another pitching change here in Detroit, and we'll be back. It's on to KC next, and here are the probables for that series.
Well, you got Mike Fiers against Eric Skoglund. You see Liriano, Zim, and Boyd for the Tigers against Kennedy, Hamill, and Junis for the Royals. We see a lot of the Royals this year. I'll be in a lot of those games, Mario. Going to KC a lot. We got a tough one here today. A tie score, 2 apiece here in the bottom of the 8th. Got a wall side windows pitching change. Jose Alvarado coming in with his 98-mile-an-hour 2-seam fastball. That's hot. Major League average is about 91, 92 miles an hour. Got a save the other day. First game of the series against the Tigers. So they'll know what they're up against a little better today. But he's going to bring it hard for Leone Smart.
1 out, nobody on, and Martin now with an 0 for 3 going in this game.
Nice place to bunt right there. Miller's back at first. Any way you can get on.
Showed the bunt.
Now, Robertson did sneak in. He tried to bait him and do it. But if you can get this here, try and beat the pitcher here, you can beat him. That's a bunt single. Just a little 97-mile-an-hour 1-0 pitch right there. Looks like Leonis was taken all the way.
Sergio Romo is warming in the Rays pen.
He's got some jewelry on there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Be heavy.
2-1.
Got, back in the day, they wouldn't let you wear those. Jack Morris used to argue with him all the time about it. Romo's got good stuff. Got a lot of sliders. Had very much success with the Giants. World Championships. 96 right there.
Alvarado was hitting triple digits the last time the Tigers saw him. It was game 1. Gave up a 2-run single to Martinez. In that game, finally got the final out with the bases loaded. Swing and a foul tip. It was a big swing right there from Martin.
He's trying to end it. Why not? You get my legs loose in case I have to pinch run.
Yeah, you might have to. You can still do it. Here's the 2-2.
Fouls another. There you see the Tigers box score for today. 2 good pitchers on the mounds for the Tigers and the Rays. They have now departed and it's been turned over to the bullpens. Just kind of start looking at, we've used Joe, we've used Stumps, they've used Rowe, now Alvarado.
Fly ball right field. Coming in is Gomez. 2 outs.
So as it goes on, you're always trying to understand what you have left in your tank.
Here's Candelario. Jamer, 1 out of 3, had a double way back in the first, did not score.
Had some good defense in this game today.
Shallow center field, and Smith will come on to make the catch. Sounded like he broke his bat. We'll go to the 9th inning. And Shane Green will be coming in for the Tigers.
As we head in the direction of the 9th inning, because of that, the James McCann home run, his 3rd of the season, which tied the game. Now, it tied the game right after Jacoby Jones was thrown out, going from 1st to 2nd on a fly ball to center field. You've not seen fiery until you have seen Craig Monroe react to that decision by Jacoby to try to take the extra bag.
Well, I'm going to react even more after the game in the post-game show, so they're going to have to stick around to see how I truly feel about that Jacoby Jones play.
Fiery is the word that pops to mind, Mario.
Can't wait to see the fire in the postgame. Got to tune in. Simo's middle name is Fiery. Shane Green now will come in out of the Tigers bullpen.
Well, Greeny got the loss in the first game. got the save yesterday, much better throwing strikes. Hopefully he's throwing strikes today, getting ahead in the count.
Keep Malik Smith off the bases. It's bunted, and they can't do it. A bunt single, third of the afternoon for the Rays.
Yeah, the only way to defend this is the second baseman has to cheat in like Tampa was. Got it by Greeny, perfectly placed, and the guy could fly.
You really can't do it better than that for Smith.
Third bunt hit of the day.
Six steals this year for Smith. Here is Echeverria.
He's going to go.
Bouncing ball right side. Machado goes to second. They get the out there. Nice job.
Oh, Smith, boy, he gets down there quick and really good job making sure you catch the ball. This is a tough play, but you got to take your time and make sure you make an accurate throw, which he does. Oh, he's secondary lead. That's a huge secondary lead. He flies. Now, realistically, I don't know. Maybe you could. They might have broke the rule right there.
I was thinking the same thing.
Worth a try.
He rolled, it appeared, at the last second. Colomé warming up.
They'll only bring him in and they take the lead. Don't bring your closer in on the road unless you're ahead. At home, tied or ahead. Romo's up as well. Colomé is double barrel.
One ball and one strike on Span. CJ Cron waiting on deck.
So if they're ahead, he's in the game. If they're tied, he's in the game.
Two and one.
Well, these guys had put something on here. This could be a time when you got to keep your eyes open. 2-1 count. You know they're not going to pitch out. You know he wants to throw a strike. Decent speed on the bases. No lead at all, however.
McCann able to block it, but the count goes 3-1 on Span. Here are the last three for Greeny. Last night, an inning. Struck out 2. Game 1 in the series. A couple of nights ago, he gave up the 3 runs in the 9th.
The indicator for Greeny and really the bullpen is whether they're getting ahead of the count.
Slice to the shortstop on one hop. Should be 2. A 6, a 4, and a 3 double play.
Good hands.
Nick Castellanos will get it started for the Tigers as we go to the bottom of the 9th.
6 2/3 innings pitched. Michael Fulmer 6 innings pitched. Each gave up a couple of runs. James McCann, the game-tying solo home run in the 7th. And Tigers are in trouble last inning, and Greeny's in, and Iglesias gets a tough hop. This is why he's in the middle of the diamond. He's got good hands. He reads well. He handled it easily, and the Tigers with the double play to get out of the inning. And the Tigers will have Castellanos, V-Mart, and Jacoby Jones lead it off here. Try and have a walk-off.
Sergio Romo is out of the bullpen for the Rays.
Lots of slide pieces.
Castellanos hoped for 3, couple of strikeouts against Snell. And there's strike 1. Tigers fans may remember Romo from the 2012 World Series when he was the closer for the Giants. In fact, he nailed down the clinching game of the World Series, striking out the side, including Miguel Cabrera. Pulled foul.
Slider. Romo's he's got good stuff, good slider. Really knows how to utilize his arsenal. Seems like he's always ahead as far as knowing what he should throw and executing his pitches.
Popped up right side of the infield. 1 gone.
The ball's right there on the outside corner, breaking off.
.581 career games, 84 saves. At 2012 season, Brian Wilson was the closer for the Giants, but he had Tommy John surgery in April, and Romo took over.
274 lifetime average, huh? I'm sure we got a pinch runner warming up in the Tigers dugout. B-Mart gets on.
Big rip there by V-Mart. That's how the defense plays.
You can see they're all over there on the right side of the diamond. Victor Reyes is ready to skedaddle should V-Mart get on.
Victor is 0 for 3.
Really throwing him away, trying to get him to roll over. 4 grounders yesterday. He's had 2 fly balls to right field and a ground out today. 0 for his last 7, ready to hit the game winner.
That's in there, a strike called.
But Romo walks around the whole mound. He won't walk on the dirt. It does it every pitch. Irritates some.
Apparently not a fan of the pace of play initiative either.
Well, I guess by the rules he's still legal.
Pulled to right field, but foul. And don't forget, tomorrow is a day game from Kansas City.
So 1 o'clock in KC, or is it 2? So I know it's noon here.
1 o'clock Central. Game time. Tune us in at 1 Eastern for Tigers Live. Ooh, Romo just missed, and they count on Victor now. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Like a changeup. Gonna try and throw that fastball and just down and away. Get that ground out. Don't bite, V-Mart.
Slap to left field. It'll get down. An opposite field single by Victor Martinez. Winning run is on, and here comes Reyes to pinch run.
That's great hitting right there. He got that whole side of the field. Infield's open. Victor was doing this in spring training quite a bit. He does it again today. Just serves it out. Look at beautiful. They gift wrapped it. You took it to the party. You ever wrap gifts?
Yes.
Are you good?
Occasionally. I would say I'm average.
You use a little extra tape?
A lot of extra tape.
So you got Victor Reyes in. For Victor, ready to score on a double. Big gap out there in right center, isn't there? Wow.
A lot of room if Jacoby goes that way.
He's got the pop to do it.
Single and 3 at bats for Jones. And Jacoby looks at ball 1. Tigers have the winning run on here in the bottom of the 9th, 2-2 ball game. They tied it up on the 2-out homer by McCann in the 7th.
I think these guys are talking about, huh?
Little confab going on there between Gardy and Miggy.
So who's going to pitch hit for? Didn't stop there. See that? There was no scent there. He's going on his little walk.
Is that a balk?
It's by definition it is. You're supposed to have a stop and a clear stop before you go the other way, but he just came down and went. They don't call it very often. That's a stop.
Two and one on Jones.
You'd think, well, that should be easy to hit. It's 89-mile-an-hour fastball ahead of the count. He's got good stuff. Sometimes it's the arm motion. And you don't sync up.
Romo last year was out of the Dodgers bullpen.
You send Victor, by the way. Try and get him to second. Didn't stop again.
He came home and missed 3-1. Romo 9 years with the Giants. Ready with the 3-1. Time called. He'll bring it home anyway. Late time given there to Jacoby.
Okay, watch his previous pitch here. No, he's holding right there. I think it was the pitch before that he did not hold. So that's by definition, that's a hold. He stopped again.
Soft line drive into center field, base hit. Reyes will go to second and stop there, and now the Tigers have 2 on with 1 out. Jacoby Jones with his second hit.
That's what we're talking about. Watch Victor now. He does a good job. The ball's right in front of him. He's in the same situation. He's going to watch the center fielder come in. He's watching him. He's going to make a hard turn to see if he picks it up clean. As soon as he sees he does, he just retreats.
Here is Hicks trying to win it. Single and a walk in this game for John Hicks. Swing and a miss.
He likes that slider when he's in trouble, like right now. Here's shifting Hicksy over here. Closing down the left side. Why not head over here? Gonna go back to the slider. Just got to stay on it.
Romo gave up the single to Martinez. Now a single to Jones. Here's the 1-1. Popped up behind home plate. And it's caught by Ramos. 2 gone. So it's going to leave it up to James McCann, who is the hero in the 7th inning, to tie it up. Can he win it?
Yeah, have a day.
We got on the outfield arms here. If McCann were to send a base hit to the outfield.
Well, you can see Smith's span is not good at all. Center field Smith, he threw Jacoby out. Gomez is probably a little better than his. But I mean, with 2 outs, there's no reason you should not score.
Yeah.
Anything's hit. And he swings that bat, you're on your way. Well, James McCann came up his last at bat. Chance to do something good. Threw a strikeout and a single. Boom! That's how it's supposed to look. He knew he had that all the way. 414 feet. Just need a little blooper. They always say bloop and a blast.
You'll take the blooper. Reyes, the winning run, and off second base. Jones at first. Here's the 0-1. Slide piece outside low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He throws a lot of sliders, especially to righties.
Rays have stranded 8 men in this game. They've had opportunities. Big swing there by James, fouled it straight back. 1-2. Romo not only walks around the mound, but he's almost to second base. Gathers himself, climbs back on top of the hill. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Tigers will strand a pair. That means we have bonus baseball today.
Look at our game summary. Michael Fulmer gave up a run in the first, then on the ground out in the second, settled down throughout the game, pitched in nice, and then James McCann, boom, game tire in the 7th. James just had an opportunity to win it, however it did not work out. we go to the top of the 10th inning for Buck Farmer.
Here are the numbers on Buck.
14th game. He's making progress. He's been around the Tigers for a while now, getting more of a regular opportunity up here in the big leagues, and has had some pretty good appearances. He had one stinker, but other than that, been pretty good. He's got the stuff to do it. Got to get ahead of the hitters and keep the game slowed down, make good plays. We keep pointing out some of the turning points in these games. You don't want to be a part of one of those negative ones.
It'll be C.J. Cron to lead things off. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Rays in a 2-2 ball game. Cron had a single in the first, but that pretty much has been it for him. The 0-1. Cron now is hit safely in 10 straight. Romo did a good job of coming back after a couple of hits. Got the big strikeout of McCann. 2-1.
No, Romo, you're not going to get him to panic out there. He's been through it many times.
Two 2-1 pitch.
You can see how much movement Buck Farmer has on his pitches. That looks like a two-seamer, but I don't think he throws a two-seamer.
You mentioned that one stinker that he had. He gave up 5 runs in his first outing of the year, but has been much better since. Ooh, look out, up and in. 3-2 now on C.J. Cron. Kittredge, we saw him last night in the ball game. He is tuning up. Chop to the shortstop, Iglesias. Off balance throw is in time. Got him by half a step.
Well, Iggy's been busy today and made play after play, and this is not easy. He's running the other way away, and he's just got to throw it on the run. The accuracy is very impressive, beyond the play.
One gone for Duffy. He is fanned twice in this game. Rays have 2 runs, 8 hits. Tigers 2 runs, 7 hits. Rays have stranded 8 in this ball game. 1 ball and 1 strike on Duffy. Two 1-run games to start the series. Now a tie game in the 10th in the finale. Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Duffy is out of there.
Let's take a look at our Miller moment on Monday. Brad Miller, he had an insurance run and a 2-1 count. That was off of, I think, Greeny. Look at the relievers. The 1-0 counts were above major league average coming into that game, and they had handled it nicely, but it bit them on Monday.
Oh, McCann made a great play there. He thought Farmer was going to make the play, and Mack throws his body out there.
Excellent.
Tigers play some good D today. James McCann.
Great defense. Nobody better than Jose Iglesias. Good to the left side of second base. Reverse pivot with the accurate throw. He goes the other way as well. Gets kind of a tricky hop. Has to throw on the run. Again, right on the money. That's Alan Trammelish guy. Trammelish. And the Tigers have had good D. All the pitchers. Makes everybody's job easier and gets them in the game. And it's time for a big game-ending home run. Somebody, you got Iglesias today?
I got Iglesias.
Well, you've been pretty hot, so it's possible. Andrew Kittredge now in the game, 9th game. Let's build that ERA up for him a little bit.
First pitch is fouled, back out of play. Iglesias has done it with his glove today. We'll see if he can do it with the bat here in the bottom of the 10th.
Now you got to decide. Your center fielder Smith's fairly short, so if Iggy could somehow get that ball up that big gap right there.
In the air to shallow right center. Smith coming on, but it's going to be the right fielder Gomez.
Didn't happen. We drew it up. It just didn't happen.
Here is Dixon Machado. Kittredge came out in the 7th inning last night against the bottom of the Tigers lineup. Got him 1-2-3. Did not go.
Everybody gets shifted. Looks like he's trying to go the other way. This happened on April 18th, Baltimore. He can do it. He's done it. Got to be thinking about it.
Slice to center field, and Smith runs over to make the catch. 2 fly ball outs. That'll leave it up to Leonis Martin.
We keep putting them up there. They've had success doing that. It's probably not the mentality. You want to have the belief that you're comfortable to do it, but you don't want to really try and elevate it out. That's what gets you in trouble. But Leonis can do it.
0 for 4 for Martin. Fly balls in his last 2 appearances. Ball 1.
I mean, this is a huge gap out here into right center. I mean, that's inside the park right there. Get a guy to pick the ball up and drop it. Gomez is pretty polished, though. Didn't want it. These type of games, you have to hunt that pitch you can hit out. You can't just swing at any pitch and try and hit it out.
Two and one on Martin.
Kittredge is like throwing changeups. He's only throwing 95.
Another big rip there by Leonis. 2-2. Bullpen for the Rays, a 4.80 ERA. Trying to get that souvenir. There you go. Found a seam.
Yeah, they should have little holes you can pass it through there.
Candelario waiting on deck.
Strike quick.
Swing and a miss. Martin is out, so are the Tigers. They go 1-2-3 here in the 10th inning. Ramon Santiago trying to help the fan out. Handing out a souvenir.
Of the 11th, John and Simo with you, right to Mario and Gibby in a second, but this is a true test of one's mettle. Day game after a night game. You got a flight and then a day game tomorrow. This is why you're called a professional baseball player.
You're absolutely right, Keats. And again, when the boys win this particular series, it would be a happy flight going to Kansas City, getting ready for a day game tomorrow.
They need that to happen. Mario, Gibby.
Well, Buck Farmer now is out for his second inning of work. Farmer came on in the 10th, count of 1-2-3. He'll pitch here in the 11th. Wilson Ramos will lead things off. It'll be Ramos, Robertson, and then Gomez.
Yeah, right now, what breaks? Who's going to crack first? You can't give him any outs. You got to make the plays. At the plate, you have to control your urge to try and end it with one swing. Simo's been in enough of those situations to know.
In a game that was started by Fulmer and Snell, both outstanding, it'll be decided by the bullpens. 2-1 on Ramos.
Buck's throwing a little firmer now than he was earlier this year.
Ramos looking for a 4-hit day. He's got 3 singles and RBI. 2-1 is sliced foul out of play. 2-2 now on the catcher.
He really lets it go, doesn't he? Sits back. Such a big guy. Being a catcher, I've watched him develop over the years. He's got really good hand-eye coordination. Puts the barrel on the bat, on the ball skills.
Matt Andriese warming up in the Rays bullpen. Meanwhile, 3-2 on Ramos. Tigers had a chance in the ninth to win it, 2 on, 1 out, but could not push across a run. Got him, strike 3. Ramos knew it.
Good pitch, looking for something else. Right on the outside corner. Just right where he set up. Look at that ball just run back, 96 miles an hour. Buck Farmer's a little firmer right now. He's got that good run on this pitch. One away.
Here is Daniel Robertson, came on a pinch hit in the 8th. He is 0 for 1. And that is in there, a strike.
Buck's working fast. Tell he feels it. Got a little bit of rhythm. Just keep it down to the zone. You got good velocity today. Get that good movement. The rest will take care of itself. No walks.
Two and one on Robertson. For 9 in the series. He started the first 2 games. And that'll miss inside. 3-1.
No freebies.
There's a freebie. 1 out walk now for Robertson. It'll bring up Gomez.
Well, you know he's going to be hacking. You still got to make a good pitch.
Gomez had a bunt single back on the 2nd, scored a run.
Don't think Robertson would be on the run here. 1 down, looking for the double play ball. Buck's got the good sinker.
On the ground of the shortstop, Iglesias, a 6, a 4, and a 3. Another double play for the Tigers infield.
started, in case you're just visiting us, Michael Fulmer, 6 innings, 6 hits. See the 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Started sluggishly, but got it together. Blake Snell, on the other hand, just as good, as he kept the Tigers under wraps. He went 6 2/3 innings. Also 2 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Very good. Now it's up to the bullpens. Lots of good defense on both sides today. This is a classic back and forth. Just on the pitching mound. Not a lot of runs scored. And the Rays got a new pitcher, it looks like.
Matt Andriese.
And he'll face the Candyman.
It'll be Candelario, Castellanos, and then Reyes due up. Tigers still have Miggy on the bench. And Candy looks at a strike.
We saw Andriese in the first game, didn't we?
I don't believe so.
Oh, you know what? I watched the game on TV the other day.
There you go.
Yeah.
The 0-1. So the Tigers turned a couple of big double plays late in this game. They got one in the 9th and they get one in the 11th. They have now turned 29 double plays. Look at the numbers on Andriese. And that's good for 3rd in the American League. Only the Rangers and Blue Jays have turned more double plays. 1-2 on Candelario.
A lot of sliders under the hands on Candy.
Warwick Sappold warming up.
These games, when they get long like this, it just takes a whole different environment to the game. You're fresh when you start the game. Now it's, you know, where you're tied, so virtually it's sudden death. It's inning by inning, but you really have to dig deep down inside to find the energy.
Got him, strike 3. Can't do it. 1 gone.
And the pitchers and the catchers, they pretty much know what the hitters are doing. And who's got the advantage? Candy didn't get the swing at that. They had that slider established in his mind. He's kind of looking and guarding against that. You don't want to swing at it. He's been swinging at balls, and then he throws one right down the middle. Unfortunately, 1 down.
Do you think swings get big sometimes in extra innings when guys just try and win it with the long ball?
I do, but again, I think that, you know, sometimes you need a reset. You got to find a way to reset it. They're definitely going for it there. Like many times you'll have a tough game, but when you come back the next day, you feel good because you had time to dump it. But you have no time to do that in the game. You've got to continue to play, continue to grind. Makes it very tough. Now, back in the day, they had no food. These guys, they're constantly taking in nutrition, which helps. They don't bring it up to the telecasters, though, do they? Just some snacks.
Well, you got gummy bears over there. What more do you want?
Yeah, but I'm gummied out.
That drill to center field going to stay in the park, though, and it'll be Smith to make the catch. 2 away, and Nico Goodrum will pinch hit for Reyes. So Goodrum with 2 outs.
About a 2-out ding dong.
I'm in. The only player left on the Tigers bench now is Miguel Cabrera. Ball 1 to Goodrum. Miggy has only been able to watch the last 3 days because of the bicep problem.
Tell you, if this game keeps going on, the ivy will be green by the time we leave. Seems to be greening before our eyes. Young guy still having a good time.
Big swing there by Goodrum. Nico hitting here with 2 outs, nobody on. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Andres, a 1-2-3 11th inning. So we will go to the 12th.
Defense for the Tigers to put his game in this position. Nice play. Jose Iglesias has been busy on both sides of the diamond. They've turned several double plays today, making them look easy, making the pitchers. Good communication there. James McCann says, I got it, I got it. A lot of action. We pounded it in there in about 30 seconds. Scorecards are getting messy. How's yours looking?
Pretty good.
At what point do you have to go to another page?
Well, I got room for 16 innings in my book.
You better get. I got a feeling it's going to go a few.
Actually, I could squeeze 17 innings in my book.
See, he's finally converted.
Converted
now,
to what?
We're looking. We've used Stump, right? Farmer, Greeny, Jimenez, now Sapo, Alex Wilson. So we have Barbado and Bell left, right? They've used who? Andres, Kittredge, Rowe, Romo, Alvarado. They've got 4 pitchers left.
In an emergency, I can actually probably get to 18 innings.
Well, I just started doing it right now. I got 6 more easy.
He's got plenty of room there. In the air to center field, playable.
I want to go back to that scoreboard down there behind the plate. Who's keeping score?
Probably just a generic fan.
That's a baseball fan there. You keep score.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I remember when my mom would keep score for all those years when I was a little kid. I think why? But we got them all.
You never picked up on the habit?
Yeah, well, I keep my score. I know what's going on.
Is that where you learn to put a C in your scorebook for a ground out?
I just created that.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a story behind that, but I used to have to remember answers, so I used to code things on my pencil.
You used to code things on your pencil?
Yeah, as reminders.
Oh, okay.
Things I had to do, etc.
Right.
So C could be Well, you give me what it could be.
Car wash?
I would say D.
D? Dentist appointment.
I mean 3.
Oh,
ABC.
you're losing me.
I know.
1 and 2 on Echeverria. Sappold replacing Farmer, who went 2 innings in this game. Here's the 1-2.
Again, you're an outfielder, you're an infielder. Got to make sure you don't take a hop for granted. Make sure that your partner next to you knows. Got to communicate. I got it, I got it, I got it. Can't assume that he's going to get it. No confusion at all this.
Ooh, man, Echeverria. Serious fishing there. 2 gone.
Well, this is what we don't want to see. It's talking about bad hops, and this happened in New York. Denard Span. Did you see this inside the Parker or
Yeah.
Boston? Look here, he comes up, a little spin on there. He's off to the races. That can't happen. You got to play goalie. There's 15.8 seconds. That's the fastest round this year on the insiders. So if a ball comes in the outfield, make sure you get right in front of it. You want to get, if you can get close to it. I always thought the short hop was the best because you get your glove real close to it. It can't go either way. Now many would say the long hop, but those can still, you know, can hit something underneath that you don't know.
Here's the 0-1 to Span.
In between hop, no. Don't want to see that. But
2 walks in the game for Span.
Yeah, he's also hitting into a double play. Scored 1 run.
Whistled foul.
Been around a while, Denard Span.
Several different teams, including Minnesota, San Francisco, Washington.
First rounder way back in 2002.
The 1-2. 2-2 now on Span.
Go right after him. Don't want to go to 3-2.
You got the power waiting on deck, C.J. Crone. Got him, strike 3. Span is caught looking. We'll go to the bottom of the 12th. James McCann's already hit a big one in this game. He is due 3rd in the bottom of the 12th. here at Comerica Park. Mario and Pemmiker, Gibson and Gibby today. Fulmer and Snell, we figured it would be a good pitching matchup. It was. And now the bullpens have to decide this one.
Yeah, it was great, just as advertised. You know, how did we get here? I think there's something in every game. We went into great detail yesterday of what wins games, what makes them go on, what loses games. It's always a lesson to be learned. You learn by outcomes sometimes it's in preparation, but now you're getting into the bullpens. Like you said, you started out the Tigers bullpen very strong, struggled a little bit, and now battling Tampa Bay's pitch for pitch.
Jones throws one to center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Jacoby rounding second. Here he comes to third. It's going to be a lead-off triple for Jones. Attaboy, Jacoby winning run at third.
You got to look here. You're going to walk the bases loaded. You're going to go. Jacoby's been pounding that ball up the middle. Fastball, breaking ball. Got around there quick. You got the infield in here.
John Hicks will try and win it, not before Kyle Snyder comes out. He raised pitching coach.
Let's take a look at the StatCast we've been talking about earlier in the game. It's got some hemp on this. This is to the deep part of the ballpark, 106, 19 degrees. Now, if that's 23 or 24 degrees, does it go out? That's what we'll be tracking. But nevertheless, triple, leadoff triple. So you got Miguel on the bench. If you pinch hit him, they probably would walk him. They need to get one out, then put a guy on and go for the double play, I believe. Or you could walk the bases loaded. Right now, I don't think they will do that. I think they're going to go for the first out. Hicks walked. He had a single, flew out to center field, and a pop out to the catcher. So what's your poison, Mario?
Miggy's still lurking on the bench. You know what? I don't know. I kind of like the bases loaded situation here and get the outs at home plate and try and turn two. But
yeah, and look at how shallow these guys are too. You got to be in. You can't. You have to be the depth that you can throw them out at.
Bunted, first base side. That's going to win the ball game. John Hicks with a walk-off bunt. And the Tigers win it in 12.
Return the favor. Tigers had 3 bunts dropped on them today, and Hicks smartly with the safety squeeze. And there you have it.
Nobody really to the right side of the infield, and Hicks gets it done.
It's good scouting, good preparation, and a good result.
What a win here for the Tigers. And you see the smile on Ron Gardenhire's face. Get it done any way you can.
Series win. You come in against a team that won 9 out of its last 11, and you take the series and on to the Kansas City Royals next.
So the leadoff triple by Jones gets it set up.
Right, Mario. Only one guy over there. And actually, they had a shot at him, but no communication between Andres and Miller. There you have it.
Well, what a win today for the Tigers. They had to grind through this one. They fell behind 2-0. McCann was able to tie it up, and John Hicks with a walk-off bunt to score the winning run. And our Trevor Thompson right now is standing by with John Hicks.
I don't know that anybody expected John Hicks to bunt in that situation, John. How did that all get set up?
I mean, they went out for the mound visit, and I looked, and I saw that, you know, the first baseman was a little bit back. I knew with Jacoby on third that if I got it down, he was going to score. So I walked over to Mac and I said, I'm going to bunt this right to first. He said, do it. I said, all right.
How's it feel when you execute in a situation like that and you're able to win a ball game in this fashion?
It's great. You know, we had some opportunities earlier in the game where we didn't capitalize, but huge knock by Jacoby getting a third, and man, their pitchers did an unbelievable job.
Jacoby, you're over here. Come on in, Jacoby. I want to talk to you about the leadoff triple and what you thought of that play that won the ball game there.
What? Say that again?
Your thoughts on that play that won the ball game after your leadoff triple to get things going?
That was fantastic. I never thought he would do that, and it worked out, and thank God he did it. I mean, that was amazing. Glad you have that in the book. So.
Did he surprise you as much as he surprised the rest of us laying that down in that situation?
Yes, a surprise is a crap out of me, yeah. 100% it surprised me. So, but I'm glad he got it down. We got the W. That was a great win for us.
Take us back to the 7th. McCann hits a home run. You tried to stretch a single into a double. What were you feeling at that point in the game, and what made you think you might be able to make it to second in that situation?
I was just trying to make something happen, and I knew that fly ball in the outfield, and I knew I could be close, but he was coming in, charging. It probably wasn't the smartest move. I was just trying to make something happen, and unfortunately, McCann hit its homers, and I went on base. So, I mean, but we got the W. Hicks got that great bunt down, so it worked out.
Absolutely did work out. And how do you guys feel taking a series from one of the hotter teams in the league coming into this series, John?
It's great. I mean, they've been swinging the bat really well. I mean, and they threw the ball really well against us. But we battled. Their pitchers threw 3 awesome games for us. But it's a huge win, and I think we're all ready to get inside, get some food, and get on the plane.
All right, guys. Congrats on a big win, and thanks for this, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Jacoby Jones and John Hicks getting it done in extra innings as the Tigers take a series from the Rays here at Comerica. Now we'll go back to you.
Big wet smiles on the field here at Comerica Park. They had to go extra innings to get it done. Everybody's okay with that because it is a bottom line business, and the bottom line is the Tigers had a 3-2 victory. You'll hear from Ron Gardenhire and Michael Fulmer, among others, during Tigers Live coming up.